Alright, welcome guys to the Aftermath. Forgot what was this called, our title.
Welcome to part 2 of We Rant About Ghostbusters.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we finally watched the film Ghostbusters.
I watched it twice.
Yep, watched it twice. Oh, by the way, the ones who've watched this is Jumper Jacks and...
Ashentric.
Yes.
Again. Hello.
Yep, hello again. So yeah, we're going to do the second part, and we'll hope to do some more of these podcasts. So you might want to subscribe to this channel to see what else we can come up for you guys. You know, if you need a movie you want to watch, anything that's new that's coming out, we are here to sort of accompany you with that sort of guide to what's good in the movies. You know, what we like and what we don't like.
Or you can subscribe to my channel and look at all the weird gameplay videos I put up once in a while.
Yep.
Whichever you prefer.
Yep. Okay, so let's get on to Ghostbusters, which seems to be a thing of the past with the SDCC, the San Diego Comic Con trailers coming out and news coming out.
Oh yeah, everybody seems to have forgotten about it overnight.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing was, it was Twitter.
Last thing was Leslie Jones' Twitter, yes.
Yes, that's the name. I almost forgot that name. I was about to say Patty, and I was like, okay, it's Leslie Jones.
It's okay, I don't remember most of the names anyway.
Okay, so if I watched it and Ash has watched it twice, I guess I'll just let Ash talk about what she thinks about the movies first. Because I know for me it's down to the nitpicky parts. Because personally I enjoyed the first half of the movie, and then the second half just didn't work for me.
Okay, as for what I think of the movie, despite watching it twice, I still found it quite enjoyable, everything considered. Like, I didn't go in with massive expectations because, like, half of me is, like, hyped for the trailers. Like, okay, these trailers look good. I'm fairly confident that it should be okay. I mean, it's Sony, it should be okay, right?
No.
And the other half is me is, please don't ruin my childhood. Like, please don't ruin my childhood. So, okay, so I gave it a watch. Oh, by the way, this is not a spoiler-free movie review. So
okay.
so we will put it in the comments or something to tell you that this is not spoiler-free. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, steer clear because we're gonna talk about a lot of shit.
Yes. Yep. Yep. There's a lot of things I'm a bit, a bit too pleased, and but I'll just let Ash talk about what she feels first.
Okay, generally speaking, I did enjoy film quite a lot, like I mentioned earlier, I think. Although I do feel that the characters were generally relatively good, even though I'm not entirely impressed by the two main characters themselves, Abby and Erin. But I'll get to that later.
Yeah, played by Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig. Yeah.
The humor was pretty good for the first half of the movie, I'll admit. It got a bit lame around the second half because I understand they're trying to show the character interaction between Abby and Erin because they're like old-time friends and all that. But sometimes I just ended up feeling kind of draggy. And I honestly feel that the two side characters, Patty and Holtzman, sorry, I don't use her first name because I can't pronounce it for the life of me. Yeah, I always get it wrong.
Don't worry, I only remember the name.
I feel they totally stole the show. Like I felt that Patty's dialogue was funny as hell. They really used the whole not to sound racist lah. I just love the way she talks. and seriously, everybody's gay for Holtzman right now. Like seriously, everybody. So
well,
that pretty much sums it for the characters for me. Like in terms of story, I feel that it could have been better. It's not the worst. I feel that the first half of the movie is especially the opening sequence feels very similar to the first Ghostbusters movie. So at that part, I liked it.
Yeah.
It felt very homagey in that sense, and I really enjoyed that, especially the second time around.
Also, to add for me is that um, one thing about this movie that it adds the horror element to it with the comedy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But when the movie starts with that scene at the Aldridge house,
Mhm.
it really feels like there's something strange in the neighborhood. Pun intended.
Although, to be perfectly frank, the only parts I found actually even remotely spooky was probably the Eldritch house.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe backstage during the concert for a little bit. That's about all.
I agree. Those
If you
two.
happen to be scared of mannequins, that part will make you shit your pants.
Oh yeah. Even if and even I was watching it also, I was thinking, okay, this is CGI, but the way they actually put it out there, oof, sure brings the chills. I mean, it's not like horror film chills, but it's like you can actually. It is a chill. It is like something that would pop where if it really happened to you, you get freaked out.
Well, to be perfectly frank, if you've ever been into the storage area of any production house, it is
Hmm.
creepy as fuck because you've got like mannequins all over the place with clothes, you've got like wigs and stuff. Humans are just freaked out by things which are human shaped but not actually human.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, that mannequin scene reminded me a bit more on the Slender Man.
Yeah. It kind of feels a bit Slenderman-ish also, minus
Ye-
the suits.
Yep, no, that true. Okay. What else can you add? Do you want to add on to this?
I like the cameos, even
Hmm.
though I feel that there may have been a bit too many cameos. Because
Okay.
it got to the point where every time another character shows up, I'm like racking my brain, like, wait, is this a cameo? Is this somebody?
Hmm.
I know, I spotted a few. I mean, Bill Murray is pretty much impossible to ignore.
Yeah, and he
And
died.
then Aykroyd shows up.
Yeah.
And then you've got Janine. Then you've got I can't remember her name unfortunately, but she's at the end of the movie.
Oh, Sujino Weaver.
Sigourney
Dana.
Weaver, yes. Yeah, she was in there also. Although I
Mhm.
have to say that in terms of what I saw in the trailers, what annoyed me the most
Mhm.
is the fact that they showed off the ghost bear trap, but we never got to see them use it. It's like literally it's like part of the end credits scene.
Ah, yeah,
That's like,
yeah.
ooh, bear trap. Then I'm waiting for the whole time, like, okay, we got the ghost shipper, we got these exploding things, where's the bear trap?
That's marketing gone wrong, I feel. When it comes to the trailers and stuff like that, whereby the trailer sort of not only at some point, some parts of the trailer, it shows us what we're supposed to see, and then after it shows us way too much, and then after that it doesn't show what we had expected to see in the movie from the trailer, you know.
Yep.
And I
And
think
I was,
that this is for me like a bit of Sony's downfall. I mean, Sony has made a lot of films, but when it comes to the big films like this, ever since Amazing Spider-Man 2, whereby it's a big movie, they promote it like mad, and then next thing you know, it's like you don't get what you want from the movie because the trailer sort of misleads you from some of them from that they have already showed that the exciting parts in the trailer, but the movie is like when you watch the movie, it's like okay, we've seen that in the trailer, but what else can you give?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
Sorry, that took so long to explain.
the expectations versus reality.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the whole thing with this. I mean, like you saw the bad trap, but we didn't get it.
Mhm.
Um, I think that's the only thing that they didn't show.
Yeah.
So,
Also about Chris Hemsworth's character Kevin.
oh god.
Oh man,
Uh,
he's dumb as rocks. Like seriously.
he's not only dumb, he's also narcissistic. It's like
I don't
have,
mind the fact that he's a narcissist. I'm annoyed at the fact that he's a plot device. Remember
yeah.
remember in our last video I talked about that his character seems to be a bit too unassuming. That I
Mhm.
felt that he's maybe just pretending to be dumb because he's the villain in disguise or something. I
Mhm.
ended up being half right because while he is not actually the villain himself, he does end up getting possessed by the villain during like the last quarter of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, actually I did say that from the previous movie, so that I actually read it on Reddit, that someone had leaked the plot, and I sort of expected that, you know.
There's no other reason he could possibly be there. I mean,
Yeah.
but to compare to the original receptionist Janine,
Mm.
she is quite smart. I mean, she's very annoying to listen to, no doubt.
Mm.
She's badass, man.
Ghostbusters, what do you want? At
I
least
know, right?
that's from the movie. I mean, that's the movie. Then I think when it came to the real Ghostbusters, she just went to a bit ditzy. Yet at the same time, she's a valuable asset to the team.
Oh yeah, man, she's gotten her out of trouble.
Yep. And then I think as with the Extreme Ghostbusters, she sort of aged and she sort of mellowed down.
Yeah, he just answers the phone like, Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you want to do comparisons, Janine still stands out as the best Ghostbusters secretary there is, not Kevin.
Well, to be fair, in the animated series, she was the only secretary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was secretary in Extreme also, and to be perfectly frank, I think the only reason why she hung around the job was because of Egon.
Yes, yes, yes.
I can't think of any other reason why she'd be possibly still be there.
Yep, and it's like she tried to gain his attention, but he's too busy collecting fungus.
Because science.
Yep. Of course,
Education.
in the second movie, she does hook up with Louis Tully, the keymaster, the keymaster from the first movie.
Don't entirely remember.
Rick Moranis played the guy, from
Wait. Is the second movie the one where they had the weird portraits and the baby?
yeah.
Oh, then I think I have watched it, but I don't remember much about it.
Well, Ghostbusters 2 was pretty much forgettable, not as entertaining as the first one.
Yeah, I'll bet I barely remember a thing.
Yeah, so for me, the thing about Kevin, like I said, the thing is, he reminded me of this one friend. Again, it's like he doesn't know much, but at the same time, it's like when you explain to him stuff and he's just like, he's not taking it in.
You mean you got a friend who's intensely dense?
Yeah. I'm not gonna go towards about describing him. All I can say is this is just one example whereby he goes and shouts out the infamous scene from Star Wars Episode 5. You're my father. No. Most of us remember that being first said in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. This friend of mine only remembers this line from Toy Story 2.
Okay.
He has not seen Star Wars. He's reciting that line in a very thick Chinese accent. It's like,
Oh, jeez.
you are my father. No. And then when you explain to him, it's like, that's not from Toy Story 2, that's from Star Wars. And he's like, he's still reciting that line from Toy Story 2. And it's like, oh.
I don't think even the actual Star Wars code actually sounded that way. I think it was something like, I think he didn't say like, Luke, I'm your father. Actually, he never did say that. He said that, join me and together we'll rule something.
Uh-huh.
He never said that. He never said, Luke, I'm your father. It's something else.
Of
But
course,
we're digressing. We're not talking here. Talk about Star Wars. That's like a totally different video altogether. Rogue One is coming out in December.
Oh, yes. Yes, end of this year. But at the same time, it's not only that, was it Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels. The third season, I believe, is being released.
Do that, man. Donnie Yen.
Yes. Of course, one friend of ours had recited this line, which just cracks me up. It's like, beware of the dark side. You don't chibai with the Asian Jedi. Not sure if we were supposed to say this, but hell with it because it sounds funny as hell.
If you guys are wondering what that is a naughty Chinese word. So don't go around spouting it everywhere.
Yep.
Someone might slap you.
I know. Okay, we have to try and figure out on the censorship on this.
We're all adults here. It's fine.
Yep. Anyway, hold on a second. Alright. Okay, so, where were we?
I did enjoy the homages to the previous to the series in general quite a lot. I mean, the Marshmallow Man and stuff. He didn't appear in the way I expected it to, but I guess it's okay. The villain, of course, is a bit one-sided, unfortunately. Like, I think it would have been interesting if they explored more into him, but I think maybe they ran out of time or something. So, like, all we know about him is, okay, he's a genius and people have been pushing him around his whole life. And people thought he was crazy because he read the book that the main character so happened to write. So they are technically the cause of all this shit.
Right, yeah. I'm a bit confused with that as well, because for me I just assumed that he's actually a ghost that came like from 1,000 years ago, and then he entered this guy's body. Because if you remember, as he was going to the concert, that he bumped into a few humans, and he's like, "Get off me, you bunch of scum." You know, it's like, it just sounded like he's been in that body for ages, and then finally it's time to unleash himself.
Not really. There are plenty of people out there who hate other people. Maybe he just doesn't like the fact that they're all like so happy and running around. He's like, ew, so much happiness and joy, despise all of you.
Yeah. For me, a villain like that, I don't know, it just seems too simple, you know? Too simple to as a villain, you know?
Yeah, a bit too simple. Like, okay, let's go compare to Zool. Because like Zool wants to like destroy the world or take over the world, something like that, right?
But the thing was, Zool didn't appear until the end of the film. It was more like...
Didn't quite have a chance to come out.
Exactly. So it was more like they were building up the keymaster and the gatekeeper, whereby Dana's house was sort of like the way towards the gateway to Zool, and then there was someone else who was supposed to be like the keymaster. You know, the gatekeeper, the keymaster thing.
It just felt a bit more epic in that sense because there's more people involved instead of just like super smart guy goes to bottom of hotel and builds gigantic ghost machine.
Yep. So, you know, I mean, it just felt a bit too simple for me. Then again, you know, I think they were just going like, okay, this is a comedy, so, you know, let's just make it simple as it can.
My other question is, okay, if he's just a dead guy, how did he manage to get so much power that when he came back, he managed to like not only command all these ghosts, become this gigantic marshmallow man-ish thing that looks a lot like Oogie Boogie, just it was white. And I saw it like, that's Oogie Boogie.
Yes. Why didn't I think of that? That is true. Damn. I just thought it was just like the Ghostbusters logo that came to life, and then but until you mention it, it's like, yeah, villain from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, it just looks like Oogie Boogie because he looks like a sack, and when they zap him, he actually burns. So it's like he's just in a gigantic pillowcase.
Yes, exactly. But except that the case is wrinkled, like very wrinkled.
And kind of sticky.
But you know what I like about that one is when the 2D animation of the logo comes to life, and it's like, whoa, I'm a sucker for anything, you know, 2D animation-ish. So, you know, that was like, wow, that's okay. I don't mind that.
When I saw that part, I was a bit like, okay, this feels a bit out of place. But it didn't bother me that much. But I've heard people complain that, I've heard people complain that the production quality for the 3D bits is a bit lackluster. But I personally feel it's okay because, let's face it, the original two Ghostbusters movies, the effects were cheesy as fuck, and I think that keeping the effects at a somewhat semi-believable cheesy level is also, I think it's okay lah. I'm totally fine with the ghosts looking the way they are. I mean, they are pretty well done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna complain that the proton guns shoot like this really cheap looking proton beams and all that. But think of it this way: in real life, that you wouldn't even be able to see the beam.
That is true. What's your explanation? I think this needs a bit of a scientific explanation.
Okay, particle beams in general, depending on what wavelength they are, may or may not be visible to the human eye, as far as I understand. Which is, okay, it's basically the reason why we can't see radio waves and microwaves and all those other wave things.
Okay.
So like, if you were to go and get radiotherapy done in the event that you have cancer or something, which I hope you do not have. Cancer is a bad thing, and I do not wish it on anybody.
Touch wood.
If you were to probably go into treatment, and you will not see the rays bombarding you and all that. And when it's been established quite a few times throughout the movie that they are using nuclear technology here.
Right. Yes. Right.
So for it to actually be like a genuine beam instead of like some lightsaber laser thing that only goes in a straight line, it generally doesn't make much sense at all.
Right. Yeah. Well, sorry. You continue.
So artistic liberties lah. I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah. Honestly, I just don't understand when people comment about graphics. I would only take note from those who actually work in these visual effects companies, because they know more, rather than someone who's from the street saying, oh, the graphic looks bad and stuff. And I'm like, there's like, can you imagine how many films, like one film, they would have at least about multiple visual effects studios working on multiple scenes that require visual effects. So how can one say that the graphics is bad and stuff? I don't know, when people talk like that, it just baffles me, because they don't know what process it takes to make it as such. Sure, some may look real, some may look a bit off,
Some may look like they are almost real. Others may look like the Rock in Scorpion King. But yes, it's a lot of work that goes into it.
Exactly. And I think also another factor for this would probably be the budget. Budget was like 144 million. So
it's not as high as some of the other AAA films out there.
Yeah. Also, I would have to say, I think half of a huge chunk from this budget went into advertising and marketing.
That one I'm not so sure. But they did make a pretty big deal about it.
Yep. So when it comes to people talking about visual effects, I'll just take it from the professionals. Like if they say like, okay, this is a bit this, it's a bit that, it's a bit technical, I wouldn't understand, but they know their stuff. So I rather go with that rather than someone saying, oh, this visual effects is crap and all that just because you hate the movie.
Speaking of that, have you seen the IMDb ratings for Ghostbusters lately?
I am looking at mojo.com, and honestly, I've sort of taken myself away from ratings ever since Batman v Superman.
No, that's not the point. Apparently, I heard that people are bombarding IMDb with bad ratings because they want to hit.
There's an article on that. I remember coming across that article whereby the when it comes to people's opinion about the film, it's very uneven. Like you have Rotten Tomatoes giving a different rating, and then you have Box Office Mojo giving another rating, and they do the details, like why did they want to say that, and then they say, oh, these people are feminists and this group is misogynist.
Whatever happened to just hating the movie just because it sucks?
Yeah. It's like there has to be a reason for everything, It's so, when it comes these days, the film itself is just like, just by the end of it all, you're just so tired. Once I watched Ghostbusters, I'm like, that's it. I finally watched the film. I can rest in peace. My mind can rest in peace, But no, it doesn't, because it doesn't stop there. The whole carnage just goes on from there some more,
Assuming there is going to be a sequel anyway.
I
don't know what to think about that the second after credit scene. Like,
the one with
are they
Zul.
just Zul? Like when me and one of my colleagues, my bunch of my colleagues went to watch it the first time. Like when when Perry just looked up and said like, "Who's Zool?" Both me and my colleague went like, "Oh shit!" simultaneously because like we both got it, but my two slightly younger colleagues, well, not exactly much younger lah, but they apparently had not watched the first movie, had no idea why the fuck we were so worked up.
Okay.
But I really don't know if that's just a homage to the first movie, or they're going to have a sequel, or Zool could very well be the main antagonist in the animated series is coming up. Who knows?
Right.
Depends on continuity.
Yeah, it depends on continuity. And you remember that video link I gave you from Midnight's Edge?
I don't remember which one. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's just break it down when it comes to that part, whereby right now, they obviously, right now instead of being a movie, Ghostbusters is now going to be a franchise. So, as it is stated from the get-go, while they were making this, that Paul Feig had pitched this to Sony Pictures so that, the Ghostbusters could continue on as a franchise. So the pitch started off as the movie with the plot points of this movie being that, from the beginning till the end, and then next thing seeing how it would go on to expand itself some more. So, it's just like what Marvel and DC are doing, whereby they're giving, these end credit scenes to sort of give a hint of what they're going to do next, except for the fact that Marvel has has done it so well, whereby you're going to be focusing on the story so much, and the movie is actually good. The movie is actually decent, and then when you have the end credit scene, you'll be like, oh, okay, we're gonna expect more for this. It's a bit tiring, but at least the Marvel movies are good. This Ghostbuster movie is somewhat in the middle, and then you have the Zool in there, and it's just like, okay, are you sure you're gonna do that? You're gonna have like a few more films until you reach Zool.
I have no idea. But
Yeah.
there is a popular fan theory that's going on right now. I saw this on Facebook. You probably saw it also. That that the original Ghostbusters and these Ghostbusters are in two separate continuities. And that whenever they toss a ghost, they're just tossing it back to and fro between dimensions.
That would be so messed up. If that's true, then it's like the Ghostbusters aren't really doing a good job. They're treating each other's dimension as toilets.
Well, at least they're building a containment unit. Even though it will make all your hair fall out.
Speaking of containment units, we didn't have a containment unit in this movie.
Oh, they were working on one and towards the end, right?
Yeah.
They were still ironing it out. It wasn't done yet.
Yeah.
But she said like, don't get too close to it. Your hair, like, don't spend more than an hour at a time with it. Your hair will start falling out.
Or turn white.
Yeah. What is with the whole hair turning white when they enter the ghost zone? Because like, I feel that it's a reference to something, but I just don't know what. Do you know?
No, I don't know. Game of Thrones?
I don't think it's Game of Thrones. I thought that was there some episode of the original of the real Ghostbusters where something similar happened and their hair turned white?
I don't remember. I don't think it was a thing.
Because like if it's not a homage to something, then it's just bloody random.
I know exactly. That's one of the biggest mystery for this movie. It's like suddenly Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy became old. Old hair, white.
What year is it? It's 2040. Our president's a vegetable.
You mean the mayor, who was played by Andy Garcia?
Nah, that's just Holtzman being weird.
Yep. What else can we say?
You want to talk about what you do not like about the film? Because I pretty much voiced out what I think of it so far. I mean, most of the things I don't like about it are really small, nitpicky things because I generally enjoyed it. in terms of a rating, I would probably give it a 7 or 8 out of 10.
I wouldn't give a rating. All I just would just give like this one liner to say that it's not the worst movie that's ever been made, but it's just not. I just not satisfied. And like you said, you've mentioned out the small nitpicking problems of the film, and also the plus points of the film, which I agree, being that the first half you have established, the team, what this world is, how the ghosts work, who's the villain.
Yeah,
Then,
I really like the first half of the film. It was very well paced.
yeah, and then when it came to the second half, everything just went like downhill, and when you go into the nitpicks, I'll probably just question on the plots, because at some point, once they stop Rowan, the villain of this film, and then they are arrested, and then after that, the three Ghostbusters, Abby, Holtzman, and Patty are in their office, and
HQ.
the HQ, and Erin is stuck in, I don't know, what I assume is a hotel.
I don't know, it looks like a house.
Yeah, and and then the whole thing is like, okay, she's gone that way, and these three are in the office in the HQ, and then it's like, I don't know, it just felt like, why are there, why is it set up as such as they have separated? One is in one place and the three is together in one.
Well, it's possible. It's quite possible that just is her house and she hasn't gone to the HQ yet, while the rest were staying behind to do other things.
Yeah, but if you remember, somehow when, everything just turns into a hailstorm of ghosts, suddenly it's like she comes back and then Holtzman is like, welcome back. It just gives this misleading feel like, oh, she's left for a bit, and then, she wanted to quit, and then she comes back and is like, oh, I'm back to save the day again, you're back, yay!
I don't know. When she said welcome back, I just felt that she just like, normal. It's like, hey, where the fuck were you? About damn time.
Yeah. And from the point from the room when she discovers, oh, there's gonna be this big apocalyptic setting in a few hours, and the first person she goes to is the person who publicly shames her, which is the mayor and his assistant, and I'm just like, can't
Well,
you
the mayor is the best person to ask about this because he's the only one who actually can evacuate the town.
But as it is, you already like gotten the boot 2 times, so wouldn't it be best to go straight to the gang? I would have preferred that than, oh, let's just go to the mayor's office to create a ruckus which people might laugh at. And the whole thing, the mayor is like, that's the worst insult you can give to a mayor ever.
Yeah, I felt his reaction to that was a bit over the top.
Yeah, and I just don't remember Andy Garcia's acting being that way. I just felt like he was the most characters he played were more like cool, suave characters. And the last I saw him was in the Pink Panther movie, the one with Stevie Wonder plus Steve Martin. I mean, it's just like, suddenly that's the problem with the second film, where everything is just thrown in just like that. Like, oh, the comedy is just like, okay, let's just put some slapstick here, or let's just put some action here, let's make this big CGI fest, all out of the blue, So that was a bit of the problem for me when it comes to this film.
I can think of another reason why they made her go to the mayor, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
They just needed a plot-relevant reason for her to be separated from the group.
Yeah, which again is like what I didn't like, which is like, for the sake of it, let's just put it that way. It just
Or there could have been more footage that relates to that, but it had to be cut out.
Probably. We wouldn't know, because
Not until they release a director's cut or the Blu-ray or something.
I don't think so, because from what I've gathered from the plot that was revealed before the movie was released, is that whatever that you saw in the movie was what was pitched. Even that dancing scene,
Okay.
which was apparently one of the most expensive scene to shoot.
I'd imagine they've got so many people.
Exactly.
And Chris Hemsworth.
And I just felt like it was, I don't know if you've watched the one of the Batman films, the Batman animated films, the Son of Batman.
Probably not.
Okay, so there is this scene halfway whereby Bruce Wayne's son, Damian, he fights Nightwing.
Okay.
In the actual movie, that scene is very short, whereby Nightwing actually defeats Damian Wayne. And the next thing you know, after the film is done, then only we see montages of the fight between Damian Wayne and Nightwing.
Huh.
So when I
quite strange.
watched, yeah, and so when I was coming back to Ghostbusters, I just felt really annoyed that, and it doesn't help that this was where, oh shoot. So, all right, where were we? The dancing scene. All right, so when I'm watching that, all right, you have everyone gathered around in front of Kevin. And I was actually expecting the dancing to happen then. But no, they brought it to the end credits. And I was like, what the hell is this, man?
I've got a theory. I've got a theory for that because I sort of discussed this with somebody else earlier also. So that I feel that the whole dancing thing actually happened while the girls were on the way to the site.
True.
But that doesn't explain why he decided to make a reappearance. I mean, the timeline of how things happen is a bit messed up, but from where I see, that's probably what he was doing while he was waiting for them to arrive, which is arguably a gigantic waste of time. But hey, megalomaniac, man.
Yeah. And I read from that article that's mentioned how much was placed for that scene itself, and they actually decided to actually put it in the end credit scene because it might, like you said lah, if you're gonna show the time it takes for the Ghostbusters to arrive to where the catalyst is, I think that would be a bit of a drag, even if you're seeing everyone dancing.
Yep, and it would have been super out of place.
Very out of place. And for some reason when I was seeing that, I was thinking of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
I felt so too. And remember when he did that musical feature, Ghost?
Yes.
So
yes,
it's probably it's quite possibly a homage to that too.
Yeah, but at the same time we wouldn't know, and I don't know. For me, even it's a slight chance they would have used that as a homage. It's just not not such a big possibility for me lah.
Doesn't Sony own the rights to Michael Jackson stuff anyway?
That's a good question. Last I heard that Michael Jackson went different ways with Sony, but I'm not sure if they own the songs of Michael Jackson. It's possible.
Sony to buy out Michael Jackson's estate half of Sony ATV Music.
Okay, so Sony basically owns Michael Jackson, even when he's 6 feet underground.
Maybe just the music. Let's see.
Yeah. And which comes to my next third gripe of this is Sony, marking its territory everywhere in the film. Okay, so Columbia Pictures is obviously owned by Sony Pictures, and Columbia Pictures has been around for decades, of films.
Oh.
And I don't know, I think ever since last year, every Columbia Pictures film or any film division owned by Sony, there must be the Sony logo there, It's like in the beginning, in the end, in the movie itself, you see those product placements as well. I don't know, it just feels too much. It's like,
To be perfectly honest, even though I didn't notice that many, I purposely watched it like twice, and I tried to catch like any Sony stuff. I only noticed it like maybe once or twice at very most. It's not as obvious. I feel it's not as obvious as in Jurassic World, where Samsung stuff was everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Samsung this, Samsung that. Oh, it's a billboard. Everybody is mysteriously using Samsung phones. The latest one too, even the children.
I honestly didn't really see the Samsung there. Maybe it's huge. I didn't really see it because I was just too engrossed with the movie itself, the story itself. So when I was watching this, and over the course of these past few years, ever since the interview debacle whereby Sony got hacked
Mm-hmm.
and everything, it just sort of shifts the paradigm for me of what Sony is going towards, whereby it's more like they're trying to find ways to save themselves, their film division, but at the same time they're doing not the best of jobs doing so, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, everything was out in the open, like when they were talking about the Steve Jobs film, and then it went on to like a bunch of racist talks, like what President Obama, what films President Obama would watch, and then it was all just films that had to do with African American people,
That's
and
kind
also
of like...
and also a
I'm
bunch
sure
of
he'll love himself some Captain America.
that is by Marvel. But and also there was some Ghostbusters news that had that the rumor was that they wanted to make a Ghostbusters film with Chris Pratt and who's that other guy? Channing Tatum.
That would be really weird feeling.
And also not to mention the
Star-Lord and Gambit hunts down ghosts. Protect your city.
and also like I think it was also revealed through this espionage that Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman were really working hard towards making a Ghostbusters 3 film, but Sony was not allowing them to do so, and they were really trying to push forward this all-females Ghostbusters in it. So, which is why, like, when I watched the film, and you see Sony's name one time in the beginning, fine. You watch them in somewhere in the scene, okay, that makes sense, product placement. Then when you see it in the end credit again, it's like, okay, this is just too much. This is more like, not to say owning your stuff, this is more like marking your territory and the way that dogs do it. If you know what I mean, it's just like...
I get what you mean. You think that it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like this is not a Ghostbusters film. It's more like a Sony film. Pay for the stuff we are making for you guys, supposedly. I mean, I get it. It's capitalism, but you don't have to make it so obvious.
It's only the logo, and I think it's okay to be in the credits, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, like, again, I'll use Jurassic Park and Jurassic World as an example then.
Yeah.
When you go into the main building, that pyramid shaped building,
Yeah.
it's called the Samsung Innovation Center.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Almost everybody uses a Samsung phone or some others. Some of them were using like Samsung, one of the Samsung Edge phones. And those little smartwatches that some of the characters were using? Those are Samsung Gear smartwatches.
I see.
So yes, Samsung everywhere.
Right. Okay.
And I feel it's a lot more blatant because forgive me if I missed anything, the only Samsung product placement I saw in the Ghostbusters movie was that Kevin was using a Sony Vaio laptop. That was the only one I noticed.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
So I think Samsung was way more blatant with it.
Okay, well, I'm not so much of a tech person. All I just see is like the
Or maybe
basic
I just
stuff.
noticed because I work with a lot of Samsung products very often and I'm just familiar with them.
Yeah.
I've used that before. Oh, I used that before. I know what that one is.
Yeah, it kind of makes me sound biased, but the fact is I think these product placements are sort of like deals these days where, films sort of use. I mean, back then it wasn't such a big deal whereby, okay, somehow they accidentally had a Coke machine there and then like, oh, now we need to have, Coke, have an agreement saying that, okay, we need your permission to have your machine, your brand in this film,
I think if it's just part of the background, like just a random machine, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Whereas that 7-Eleven logo though. I wonder how much they paid for that.
And the Viacom logo.
I don't know where the Viacom logo was. I did not spot it.
It was there. It was like a shop, I believe, or it was a counter that just fell down. I really don't know why Viacom's name was there. For those who are wondering what Viacom is the owners of Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon and MTV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know what was that doing there. I don't know what was the hint, but it was there. Just for that one time it got crushed by the ghosts.
Maybe it just so happened, like if you were to walk down around Madison Square Garden, you probably have a lot of places with random brands and logos everywhere. I mean, you can't possibly cover every single one. It's just part of the background.
Yeah, but I was told that's why you don't. Even though the film is set in New York, most of the films are set in New York. Heck, everything is set in New York. you know.
All that stuff happens in New York.
Yes, exactly.
Like how all the guys only step in Tokyo. And the Golden Gate Bridge always falls down. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So anyway, I was saying what was I saying? Yeah, apparently that's why films, although the story is set in New York, but sometimes they would go to Los Angeles or somewhere else that to make it, and they film it and it looks like New York. You have the green screen and stuff, because when you film in New York, I believe there's a lot of product placements around, with screens, and then Madison Square, like you said, Madison Square, the billboards and stuff.
I think that goes for most major cities, to be honest. Like you can't go anywhere in Japan without seeing a Sony logo somewhere.
Yeah.
For example.
Because Sony is from Japan anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
home turf, boy. You see my logo, where the hell I want to put it?
Yep. Okay, so I guess that's just the few things that I just didn't like about the film. But otherwise, it's not bad.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's just that you have a bit more to work on. And I definitely would want to see this Ghostbusters Ecto Force happening. I'm still not sure if it's going to be a movie or it's going to be a TV series, but it's definitely going to be animated. And whether this actually is going to shoehorn itself into this Ghostbusters multiverse or cinematic universe.
Yeah, no idea. I think it's going to just be an animated series, but as to who's the main characters, I have no idea. For all you know, we may never see this team of female Ghostbusters ever again.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Unless, of course, decide to make a second movie or something lah.
Well,
But given the amount of backlash, especially against Leslie Jones on the movie, I'm not sure if she wants to come back and make another one.
I think she would. So, I mean, the way I see it, she's actually quite strong-headed. She actually talked on the Stats Mayor show about it, and when she said that she's actually going away from Twitter, it's not that she deactivated the account, she just signed out.
Okay.
So, I think, and you know what? There's a lot of people who like her,
Oh, I like her a lot.
Yeah, and I think you're not the only one. I think she brings a lot to the table, even though she's not a scientist. And, she's like the live wire that Winston wasn't. Yeah, so...
Yeah, she's got Venkman's portion of sass, I guess.
Yeah. But who knows, maybe all the actresses have signed on contracts for the next few films, but they have not yet said that if it's part of the contract, like if this film was just a one sure shot, and the future is like can be anything, because honestly at this point, anyone can be a Ghostbuster. If you think about it, like the whole idea of Ghostbusters 3 was that they wanted to pass on the legacy to another bunch of ragtag team. And then as you've seen a whole bunch of fan films whereby the characters are not even related.
Okay.
Except for probably one who was supposed to be the nephew of Egon.
That one I don't know. I don't think I've watched any of the Ghostbusters fan films out of fear that they might be terrible and I might have to wash my brain with bleach later. Not saying that fan films are bad. It's just that I personally just don't typically watch fan films.
Well, there are certain standards to fan films. Just some, as fans, they just work with what they have. Like if they have a bunch of money to bankroll on this, like what they did for Batman Endgame, the one where Batman meets Predator and Alien.
Franchise crossovers that will never actually happen if not for the fans.
Yeah, and there are actually some who just like, okay, let's just make do with what we have and just make the film as it is. So it comes down to production value of whoever's running the fan films. But that's just how they would do it. But when it comes to Ghostbusters, it's just that there's too many people who have already established that they can be a Ghostbuster. All you just need to do is just have the proton pack, the jumpsuits, the gear, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, we even have our own local Ghostbusters wing arm thingy. I can't remember, was it called Ghost Corps?
Yeah. Yep, Ghost Corps. That's the name. Yeah, and it was pretty much on the screen, on the opening title as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way to see it. Like they're actually gonna make Ghostbusters into another franchise, and they're gonna make more films and more toys.
Well, if they are going to make toys, I would like to request that they bring back the toys that they were like the ones the original Ghostbusters had. Remember the one where you just press it and then their head goes like, oh!
I think they do have. Because from what I know is that from one interview with Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd was that the only toys that they had made was only for the real Ghostbusters. They didn't make any for the film because that it was not really marketed for kids. Only if the real Ghostbusters show was it's a kids show.
I don't think Extreme Ghostbusters had toys even. I'm not even sure.
It didn't because it only lasted for one season. Yeah, this is the same thing that happened to Tron Uprising. It only lasted for one season. And honestly, not even from the films. There was no toys from Tron.
There were toys, just not that many. I have the light disc replica. And they made a whole bunch of frisbees and stuff. And there were toys, just not a massive amount.
Yeah. So that sort of sucks. I mean, when you talk about Extreme Ghostbusters, whereby it is actually something that is different from that actually is part of the legacy, yet it gives something different. But if given the right time slot to be put on TV, it could have expanded itself to season 2. But we didn't get that. And I have to say that the Extreme Ghostbusters was actually how do I say this? They were given credit by some team from the special groups group, because you had Garrett. Was it Garrett on the wheelchair?
Special teams group. Don't you mean special? No, wait, that's not right. Basically, they put someone in with a disability, which is pretty out there as far as movies and cartoons go. I mean, it's quite common for you to have like a badass character who's like missing an eye or missing an arm, but usually they're not wheelchair bound. Well, they did an Avatar, but the guy didn't exactly run around in his wheelchair.
Yep. And besides, that guy was like, he was an army guy. So, it's like, even with legs or without legs, it just seems like he can actually handle himself.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'm just looking at it on Wikipedia because I remember seeing this on Wikipedia that Garrett's character was quite... This was the reason why... Okay, they don't seem to have it on Wikipedia anymore. What the heck? Let's see. Garrett didn't have action figure. Oh, wait! The cartoon series generated a line of action figures. Action figures.
Action fingers.
I shall thumb you down. Da da da. My bad. Action figures by Trend Masters, and this include Roland, Eduardo, Kylie, and several ghosts. So there were like Tron. It was like there were only a few toys, but not all. And also like video games from which is I think there's two on Game Boy Advance and one on PlayStation.
I'm not sure about that. I was never heavily into. During the time, I wasn't really heavily into consoles, so if it did come out, I wouldn't be aware of it.
Okay.
A
Well, looks
PC
like
gamer, damn it.
yeah. Anyway, I can't seem to find the recognition that the group gave to this show, but it was definitely something to still stick on to the Ghostbusters legacy. At least until this new movie came out. Yeah. So anyway, I think we've covered
I think we've gone on long enough.
Yeah, we've covered up everything we've liked and disliked. I think we've gone off the track a bit.
We've gone hell off a tangent.
Yeah. So, I think we're done with this show.
So yeah, if you've already watched it and you'd like to let us know what your thoughts on the movie are, you can either leave it in the comments below so we can see what you think.
Yep, exactly. Just for us Malaysians who are a bunch of ghost hits or Ghostbusters fans. Yep. And guess we can call it a day. My name is Jumperjax.
And I'm Ashentric.
Alright, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yes,
bye bye.
hopefully not too far away. Ciao.
Bye bye. Peace.